Student loans are one of the trickiest and most complicated types of accounts that you can dispute, but they are not impossible. Okay, and if you have not heard from me, hi, my name is Danny, and I own ScorePro Financial, which is a credit repair and management company that helps consumers like you and me with their credit. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to dispute inaccurate student loan reportings using consumer law and factual disputes the best way possible so you can fix and improve that credit score. Okay, all right, so let's begin. These are the same strategies that I teach and that I use for my clients and my students, so keep an eye out. All right, so there are two types of student loan accounts. They can be federal or private, and surprise, surprise, each type has different rules for how it needs to be reported. All right, but regardless of these types or whatever it is, every student loan account must still meet FCRA standards. It has to be 100% accurate, 100% verifiable, and 100% timely. Okay. The main problem that comes with student loan accounts is that student loans often contain multiple reporting errors, especially after deferments, forbearances, consolidations, and even transfers between services, which is AKA now. Okay, it has been crazy how student loan accounts has been since the COVID pandemic, and but that is what we actually want. Okay, those errors are what you go for whenever you're disputing, not the loan itself. The consumer laws that are governed or that go through student loan reporting are the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Specifically, Section 611 of the Act gives you the right to dispute inaccurate or unverifiable information. Section 607B states that the data must be maximally accurate. Then we also have Section 623, which says that the furnishers must update or delete inaccurate information. Okay. Another very important law that will help us with the challenges of the student loans it's the Higher Education Act. Okay. It requires federal student loan servicers to accurately report loan status changes like deferments, forbearances, discharges, and consolidations. Okay. And we also have the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This is the law that applies specifically to private loans if they have been handled by a third-party collector, for example. Okay. Now, this is the entire arsenal. This is all the laws that you need. So you're going to use this to frame your disputes, your challenges, and force corrections and deletions of any inaccurately reported loan data that you have in your reports. Okay, so student loan reporting is complicated, and that's completely what leads to mistakes that you can challenge, that you can dispute. Okay, so here's what you need to look for. First, you're looking for duplicated accounts. Okay. When loans are transferred to a new servicer, the old loan should be closed with zero balance. If both of the loans show active balances, that's double reporting, and it is a violation of the law that we just mentioned. So go for that. All right. Second, inconsistent status updates are some of those things that happen whenever you have deferments, forbearances, or consolidations. They have to be accurately reported. Okay, if an account still shows past due while being in deferment or forbearance, then this account is incorrect and you can challenge it. Okay. Third, the wrong date of first delinquency. Okay, this is the date, the first delinquency, that impacts how long the defaulted loan remains in a credit report. Okay, the incorrect date or first delinquency extends the reporting illegally under FCRA guidelines. Okay. Number 4, incorrect loan types or creditor information. Okay. The report must list and must show the correct program and the accurate servicer name. If that is not the case, then you get another challenge there for you. Okay. So mislabeling the loan can be challenged, and pretty much it's inaccurate reporting. Okay. Number 5, incorrect payment history. Payment history on loans and in the grid of the loans must match actual loan status. Okay, no payment should show due during approved deferment or forbearances periods. Okay, And now that I'm thinking about this on a side note, okay, usually when you look at a federal student loan account, especially when you go into that payment history, that 2-year payment grid, you often see that the payment grid shows the payments being like okay, or maybe it might be blank or something, and then all of a sudden you see a 90, right? That tax your credit score, which is something that recently happened after the forbearance stopped this year with the new administration. All right, so what that's showing is that the student loan payment has been on time. All the okays, it shows that it's been on time. But then every single one of those okays, it's like, okay, we're good. All right, so that's what this means. Okay, then all of a sudden you go from being all of that's okay to a 90-day past due showing up on your credit report, dropping your scores 50 to 100 points. And you might ask yourself, well, how's that even possible? What just happened? That's clearly an inaccurate information or inaccurate reporting. How can it be that all of a sudden I go from all good to 90 days late this month? Okay, well, the reason for that is that all federal student loan debt, they have this 90-day grace period on a missed payment. So the Department of Education won't report you late until you've gone 90 days past due. Okay, so believe it or not, that 90-day late payment, it's usually accurate and good information. Okay. What is incorrect in is the fact that you were 60 days past due the month before, but they were reporting you on time. So you see how that starts playing out? You don't want to dispute that, because the last thing that you want is from your report going to show that first it was 60 days late and then it shows 30 past days due as well. So, now, not that they would do that, but it's something that just came to mind all of a sudden, and then I needed to show you those 90-day lates and stuff and what it actually works. So just know that they're actually showing on time. Okay, that is not inaccurate information. It's most of the time correct. Okay, so the Federal Student Loan Services will not report you delinquently until you're 90 days past due, which is part of that grace period. Okay, so now you know what to look for. So in the credit report. So here is how you build and challenge these type of mistakes. Okay, so step number 1, you want to obviously check and identify the specific errors we just talked about. Okay, pull your credit reports from the 3 credit bureaus. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. You can go to annual credit reporting. There are multiple ways for you to do that. You can find Smart Credit as well, but you want to check on all that payment history. Okay. Step number 2 is you want to create dispute letters. Obviously, you want to use the precise language that identifies an error that, parts of the law that I told you above. For example, if the student loan is duplicated on the 2 services, both showing active balances on their FCRA section 607B, this makes that, obviously it's inaccurate reporting. Or you can also say like, this account shows 120 days late during the documented forbearance period under the Higher Education Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This is factually incorrect. Another challenge could be the date of first delinquency that obviously is incorrectly listed, extending to the reporting period beyond what is allowed under FCRA section 605. Okay, so please delete immediately, right? That's something that you can write on that letter. So, step 3, send dispute letters to each credit bureau. Mail the dispute letters to each one of the credit bureaus with copies of the highlighted reported sections, showing the inaccuracies, shows the mistakes. That helps quite a bit. So, don't forget to target actual factual errors, okay? Don't make up things. Just, don't make up the existence of itself of the student loan is what makes it wrong. Find errors. Okay. Step number 4 is to track the responses. Okay. The bureaus have 30 days for them to respond on their FCRA regulations. So keep tab on track as well. And, as long as there's no type of corrections, you can continue going. Okay. So here are some other extra things to consider whenever you're disputing some student federal loans. And, federal loans have extra protections and mistakes. So they are very common. Okay. First, services must accurately update loans after consolidations or forgiveness programs like the Public Service Loan Forgiveness or Total Impairment and Disability discharges. If a loan was forgiven but it still shows an active imbalances, that's inaccurate. Okay, so if a consolidation leads to incorrect balances or late payments showing up to the original loan post, then you know, especially if it's post consolidation, you can definitely challenge that. Okay, so you can cite both the Higher Education Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act together when disputing these errors. All right, so now keep in mind that if the viewer is verifying inaccurate reporting, you can escalate to disputes by sending to a second level dispute, third dispute, fourth dispute, show your initial dispute, highlighting all the failures, and investigate under the FCRA Section 611, and cite failures to update and correct under Section 623. Okay, you can also file and escalate to do a CFPB complaint that they're not doing. As you know, they're being sued at the moment. So document your disputes, especially if you have lack of updates, lack of changes. Just continue disputing, because this is going to create more things in the arsenal for you to be able to move forward. So, if a balance violation exists, especially reagent delinquency dates or incorrect deferments or forbearance reporting, you might have grounds to send a notice to intent and try not even litigate. Okay, so here are some of the final things that I'm coming to mind and that now I'm here and I want you to remember. Okay, student loans are complicated, but complexity often means mistakes you can't dispute. Okay, focus on verifying balances, on statuses, payment histories, and dates. Okay, use the consumer law on the framework that I just told you. It's very important. Okay, not emotional arguments, actual facts. Okay, be specific, be legal, and be persistent. Okay, again, don't stop after just one disputing cycle. If the errors remain, you can still dispute. Okay, and guys, that's it. That's the video. How to get rid of student loans inside of your credit reports to improve your credit so you can get everything else that you need. And don't forget, if you found this video useful, like, subscribe, and share so some more people like you and me can see it and they can help them. Okay, so if you have any extra questions, comment them below. I'll try to get to them as soon as I can, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.